So the baseball season is finally over until pitchers and catchers report about 12 days from now. Isn't that how it generally works? Okay, so we've got college football tonight, 4 games on tap that nobody really gives a damn about, except one of them I'll talk about in just a moment here. I'll give you a complimentary selection on Temple and Navy. We've also got an NFL game that I don't really give a damn about, so I'm going to talk about that game as well and give you a complimentary play on the Bills and the Jets, because I think the best bet is actually in the NBA, where I cashed in again last night with Philadelphia getting the job done against Atlanta. Yes, you got to trust the process. And tonight, that best bet, as far as I'm concerned, is going to be the Golden State-San Antonio game. And Chris Jordan also happens to believe that is the best bet on the board because he has an ultra-rare play. In fact, only the 8th ever 3,000-star NBA triple your wager release in his 35 years as a handicapper. It goes tonight on the game between the Warriors and the Spurs and San Antonio. The 8th ever triple your wager 3,000-star NBA release. It goes tonight, and it's the half-price play of the day by using coupon code TRIPLE. It is almost a year ago this time that Chris got on this same type of roll. And he is one of these guys, just like myself, who is a firm believer, like I think all gamblers should be, that when you get on a roll, you keep escalating the action. You keep putting your finger down and pressing that action. And he has done so right now in the NBA, just like he did last year around Thanksgiving in college football in the NFL. And that roll that started last year right around Thanksgiving has resulted in $1 bettors over the past 11 months being up over $55,000. That's wins minus losses minus the vig, up over $55,000 over the past 11 months. And it started about a week and a half ago when he hit 4 straight top-rated 1,000-star plays. Then he hit a 2,000-star NBA release. Then last night, he hit his first ever 2,500-star NBA release of his career. And tonight, again, raising the bar, the 8th ever 3,000-star NBA release, triple wager play, Warriors and the Spurs, and it's half price. By the way, with these 3,000-star triple wager plays and all sports combined, let me just double check his record. All sports combined over the past 35 years, 22-8-1. Last one was in the NBA playoffs back on May 2nd or 3rd last year. It's on his site when the Cavaliers beat the Toronto Raptors. He won that. Had a 3,000-star triple wager play when Clemson upset Alabama in the national championship game. Had a triple wager play on North Carolina over Gonzaga in the Final Four championship game. These were all plays, all half-price plays, just like tonight. Also going tonight, Trace Adams. Double your wager, 2,000-star college football winner, number 8 out of 11. MAC game of the year, Northern Illinois and Toledo. It's an early kickoff, guys, 6 o'clock Eastern time. Half price tonight. His Thursday night winner, number 9 out of 11. Matches his Saturday 2,000-star double wager winner when Nebraska rallied to beat Purdue outright on the road. His second biggest college play of the season and bigger than his 1,500-star raised to bar winners on Ohio over Miami of Ohio on Tuesday night. And Central Michigan. How about Central Michigan last night? Coming back and rallying and winning outright over Western Michigan for the Victory Cannon. Yes, they won the Victory Cannon, as opposed to Ohio University 2 nights ago, winning in the Battle of the Bricks showdown against Miami of Ohio. Where else can you get this type of information? I know you are enthralled with this all. Let's get started and talk about tonight's action here. Let's begin in the NFL, because the longer I can put off talking about the Temple Navy game, I think that's a good thing for all of us involved here. Listen, the Bills, are they for real? I don't know. We can probably debate that for at least another 10 minutes. I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. They're coming off the 34-14 home win against the Oakland Raiders. A game that I'm not really surprised about, because the Raiders have been such a poor performer defensively all season long, an in-and-out team offensively, and a poor performer on the road. Prior week, though, they struggled to beat the Tampa Buccaneers, even though Jameis Winston was playing with the bum shoulder, 30-27 at home. And listen, on the road, the Bills have certainly been inconsistent. 1-2 straight up on the road. Lost their last road game, 20-16 in Cincinnati. Remember that stinker, their first road game this season, 9-3 loss at Carolina. The only team they beaten on the road somehow, 23-17, winning at Atlanta. But then you've got the Jets. And you tell me, they win 3 straight games after opening the season 0-2. Now they've lost 3 in a row. But in 2 of those games, they blew 14-point leads. And the other game, they carried a lead into the fourth quarter. So they've been competitive. Now, the Bills suddenly go out. They get Kelvin Benjamin, who may or may not be available for tonight's game from Carolina. They're making a postseason run, right? And at 5-2, they're seeking their best start since 1993. We're talking the gravy years, the glory years for them, right? Their defense is playing great. They lead the league with a plus 14 margin in terms of turnovers. They're tied with the Ravens for a league best 17 takeaways. They're doing a good job. They opened the season with a 20-12 win at home against the Jets, when everybody thought the Jets would be lucky to match the Cleveland Browns for futility in the league, being the worst, right? But the Jets have played some decent ball. They've gotten some decent quarterback play. They can't run the ball. They don't have a very good pass rush. They've got a lot of injuries. They're really banged up in the secondary. How did the Bills win the opening game? Well, they ran LaShawn McCoy. He had a big game. They ran for 190 yards on 42 carries as a team in the opener. And LaShawn McCoy's coming off a big game against the Raiders, another team that can't stop the run, 151 yards in that game. Jets are 27th in the league against the run. They give up 4.2 yards per carry, 128.2 yards per game. LaShawn McCoy, big game, I think, tonight. Running the ball, also such a dangerous threat out of the backfield as well as a receiver. So that's how the Bills are going to obviously move the chains. But I think the key for the Bills tonight is Tyrod Taylor has got to somehow look to hit his receivers. And let's face it, the reason they went out and got Benjamin is because they don't have any good receivers. But with the sad state of that Jets secondary, they've got to take some shots stretching the field, and they've got to look for some of those sweet spots in that Jets secondary, because the Jets are going to be looking to do the same to them, because I don't think the Jets are going to be able to run the ball in Buffalo here tonight. So I'm willing to take a shot with the Bills tonight. I'm willing to lay the 3 points. Some places it's 3.5. Either way, anywhere between 3 and 4.5 points. I'm buying the half point down on Buffalo. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, but I really think this game has the potential to be 20-17, 17-14, 13-10. So I think it's crucial here that you go ahead and buy the half point down on Buffalo. Now, let's talk about Navy and Temple. This is a rematch. Remember when Temple went into Annapolis last year for the AAC championship game and just kicked the hell out of Navy? It was a game where Navy's starting quarterback Will Worth was injured early in the second quarter. Navy had a plethora of injuries in that game. Temple rolled, jumped out to the quick 14-0 lead, rolled, I think, 34-10, just destroyed the midshipmen in that game. A different Temple team this year. A Temple team that lost like 9 all-conference performers to graduation from last year's team. A Temple team that is just fair to Midland at best this season. Navy, meanwhile, started off 5-0, but then lost a 3-point decision at Memphis. And then last home game lost to Central Florida and suffered a ton of injuries in that game. They were without 10 crucial performers, not all starters, but 10 key players, including their starting quarterback, what is his name? Zach Abbey, who left the game with a head injury in the second quarter. Now he's back tonight, and they've got a couple of other key performers back here tonight as well. Now, Temple is coming off an overtime loss to Army, and before that, they got upset by Connecticut at home. This is not a very good Temple team. Are they 8 points worse than Navy? That's what you've got to be asking yourself. A lot of people say, Temple has a little bit of an advantage because they just played Army, another triple option attack team. So they are used to seeing that team defensively, and that should help them. And truth is that they did pretty good defensively in stopping the Army option attack, held Army to under 100 and some yards, under their normal average. But I think when people say that, they don't realize the flip side. Navy has now seen how Army defended how Temple defended against Army's option. And that gives you as an offensive coach the advantage. The other thing is you also have to realize, and I mentioned this in the video report in the past week or so about another option-oriented attack. The Navy option is not like the Army option. The Navy option, they also use a little bit more of a perimeter type of option attack, where Army is more of a straight-on north-south running team. Navy does like to run out to the outside edges a little more, and that's a little variation in the option, which makes it a little harder for a defense to key on, and it makes that type of option attack, much like Georgia Tech's, for example, that triple option, a little more difficult to deal with. So, I think Navy is definitely the choice here tonight. I would be willing to lay the 8 points in this one. This Temple offense is among the worst in football, only averaging about 20 points a game. Awful in the red zone. Did switch quarterbacks and got some production against Army last week. Navy defense, Army defense. That's why I think Temple got some production offensively last week. Navy has won 12 straight games at Lincoln Financial Field. That's the home of the Eagles as well. 10 of them against Army, 2 of them against Temple. And there's a little bit of revenge here as well. And I think also that Navy wants to or needs to get back in winning. And after playing 2 very good teams, 2 strong offensive teams in Memphis and Central Florida, 2 games they lost by a combined 13 points, 2 games that, hey, they only gave up 30 points to Memphis on the road. They only gave up 31 points to Central Florida at home. Central Florida came into that game averaging 50 points. I had a 15-time best bet on Central Florida in that game. I was damn lucky to escape with the win, because Central Florida opened as a 7-point favorite and went off at 9.5. So their defense did a great job. Now they're taking on tonight a Temple team that is inoffensive, okay? They simply can't get anything going. The Owls are ranked 115th in the nation in red zone offense. There's only 129 Division I teams, okay? So, again, at 20 points a game, I'm not too worried about Temple reaching the end zone too often. So I'm going to go with the Bills, and I'm going to go with Navy as your 2 complimentary plays today. That'll do it, and we'll talk again tomorrow when we do this, guys. Again, one more time. Good luck, everybody. Talk to you.